Puppy dogs.
Namaste. Today's International Yoga Day. And I'm not even going to talk about that because I talk about it every year. What we're going to focus on today are the elements. I started this series last week. We focused on fire with one of the blissful flows. We focused on the air element with restorative. We focused on the water element with yin. And then for yesterday's gentle, I combined all of them and told you about the final three. So I thought for blissful today, since we have different people doing gentle and blissful, I would just remind you of these elements in case you've forgotten. So in alchemy, there's things that come up in Chinese medicine that are certain elements, in the classical form, in the Greek philosophy, in the Indian philosophy. What we're going to be focusing on is more of the Indian philosophy that ties in with yoga. Most of the elements stay the same. Water, fire, air are always the same. In Chinese medicine, they do wood and metal. In yoga, we talk about earth. So let's just go ahead and discuss those really quick. They correlate back to the chakras, which are the wheels of energy or vortices within the body. And there's a major 7 of these. And I've heard as we move into the 5th dimension, it's going to expand. And there's going to be, I can't remember, I think like 13 chakras. Some of us have already gained an extra one. One of the extra ones that come up is the higher heart. It's above the heart center and it's considered the color of pink. And I know the heart center is usually green/pink. But anyway, the first chakra, which is our foundation, is all about our roots, our ancestral roots, whether or not we are grounded in our roots so that we can not just survive, but thrive in order to grow and to evolve. So our roots are something that we study when we talk about the first chakra, any of our conditioning from the past, because a lot of things we've outgrown or a lot of things have changed or we've evolved beyond that. So because the foundation is the first chakra, that correlates to the element of earth. Earth being solid matter, earth regarding any type of roots, grounding, feeling of even safety. And the second one, when we move up to the second chakra, it's all about the element of water. Think about the second chakra going back in with relationships, back in with finances, and with career, and how that can ebb and flow. This is about adaptability, and the alchemic symbol of water is the inverse of the triangle. So fire would be this triangle and water is this. So it looks like a vessel, a wine glass, a cup that can be the container to hold the water. When we get too much water in our system, we can be overly dramatic. We can be very emotional. And when we work into the hips, this is where we tend to release some pent-up emotion that we may not have processed or that needs to resurface. And then the third is the fire element, not just our Agni, our inner digestive fire, but the inner fire of transformation. Fire has the ability to transmute energy. All right, so just focusing on those first 3, when we're doing any type of active posture, we always want to start from the foundation up, connecting what's connected to the earth, and then building up from that point. A lot of the standing asanas are based around the first chakra. And the second chakra with the water element is anything concerning, I mentioned the hips and the low back. It's also the flow, you know, how we're entering and exiting the postures, how we're collaborating all this together. The third being the fire. How can we build up some inner heat? How can we create enough fire internally that we're so invested and grounded in the body that we're helping to transmute any energy or emotion or thought forms to become more pure. The fourth, the heart center, holds the lungs. This is the air element. We breathe in oxygen, we send out carbon dioxide, and there's other gases that live in the body as well. But pranayama is the heart of yoga, and breath work is something we want to sustain. Think about the heart chakra being the place of integration. We want to bring in the breath work so that we're connecting and bridging the external to the internal and the physical to the spiritual. We move up to the fifth chakra. This is about ether or space. We're trying to create more space in the mind. We're trying to create more openness, more freedom, more spaciousness in general. When we move up to the sixth chakra, this is the place of enlightenment. The element is light. I was listening to a podcast of someone who's intuitive, and they were channeling the energy, and they said from June 20th, summer solstice, that was yesterday, depending on when you get this video, the longest day of daylight per year. 20th, 21st, 22nd, more light is coming to the planet, more light is coming down to us. Perfect time to slow down, to chill out, to meditate, to do yoga, tai chi, walks in nature, anything like this, so that we are absorbing and integrating this new light. Think about when you have an insight or an epiphany or a light bulb moment, right? That's a moment of enlightenment towards whatever you're thinking about, whatever subject matter that is. And the seventh, the crown, is all about spirit, all about the purest thought form or pure positive state of consciousness, what unites us with everything and everyone. It's it's all the elements, really. It's all the elements within the creative intelligence of what designed the elements. All right, so we're going to put this into practice during our blissful flow. And we'll start in a comfortable seat. Resting the hands down to the lap. Close the lids of the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. Follow it all the way down into your seat. Imagining from the tailbone and the sits bones there are roots growing, going down through the foundation of wherever you are and into the rich soil below. Being present in the here and now. Feeling the contact of the mat beneath the feet. Set your intention to connect to these elements as we work through the body, these poses, the chakras. We'll begin with the foundational element of earth. In the breath, you want to maintain consistency throughout the practice, since that is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. The place where masculine and feminine join together. And then begin to open the eyes. Come to stand at the top of the mat. Spreading the toes, grounding the feet, locking in the legs, zipping up through the midriff, standing tall and solid like a mountain. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at your heart. Inhale, keep your feet drilling down as your arms swoop up. And as you exhale, gently hinge forward and down to your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Notice how you may be light on your feet. Put more pronounced pressure through the soles of the feet. Again, lifting through the knees, your quads, and hinging from your hips. Come halfway up on your next in-breath. As you exhale, you're stepping it down the mat. You're lowering to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, build to upward facing dog. Exhale, rock and roll back to downward facing dog. So now the primary foundation is the hands. The secondary foundation being the feet. We tend not to use the feet as much. So dig the balls of the feet down into the floor. That will elevate your heels. And it will create the shape of a triangle. Breathe in and out through the nose. On your next inhale, let's step the right foot forward and up between the hands. Turn and plant your back foot. Helicopter up, Virabhadrasana 2. Again, focusing on the foundation of the feet. Feet pressing down, hips opening up, side body lengthening, and then turn your gaze down the front fingertips. Affirming here as you hold, I joyfully manifest the power of my inner strength. It's already trying to change our thought forms into something more empowered and positive. Exhale, helicopter down, spin away from the back heel, step it to plank, crank down to Chaturanga, that low push-up. Land your knees, build up to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll it back to downward facing dog. Plugging down into the earth. Lifting up high through the hips. Creating nice, even, rhythmic breaths. Next inhale, step your left foot through, plant your right foot, helicopter up, warrior 2. Work on your stance. Build from the feet up to the crown of your head. Maximize your breath. And again, that thought form, the affirmation. I joyfully manifest the power of my own strength, internal and external. Helicopter the hands down, spin away from the back heel. Take that last vinyasa. Notice as we're moving through the Surya Namaskara, it's called a sun salutation for a reason. We're not only saluting the sun, we're not only working through the entire body, but we're developing that movement from the center of the body, the indwelling place of the sun, to build internal heat. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat, lift up halfway. Exhale, drape down. Let everything flow towards the crown of the head. Inhale, root down and rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to keep moving. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold. Keep the legs active. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, take it to Chaturanga Dandasana. Into up dog. Out to down dog. Now be here. Planted here, but bowing the head down. Inhale, right foot steps through, back heel descends. Bring it up, straighten the front leg. Lengthen out over it. Windmill down to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Feel the work through the inner thigh. Grip your feet into the mat. Hug that belly in. Exhale, lunge the knee. Come back to the lunge. Step it to plank. Lower down to a low push-up. Inhaling, bring flexibility into your spine. And exhale, fold back. Established in your body first. And then invest more in your breath. So that calmness can begin to radiate within and without. Affirm that mentally within. Calmness is radiating throughout every fiber of my being. Inhale, left foot steps through, back heel settles down. Bring it on up, straighten that front leg, splay open through the arms, hinge back from the hips, lower the left hand, fly the right arm skyward. A triangle representing fire. The inverse of that representing a cup or the alchemic symbol for water. Look down, lunge that knee, step it back, take the next vinyasa. Hold and breathe. 4 to 6 inches between the big toes. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're in a balancing pose this time. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Now halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Into up dog. Out to down dog. So the balancing pose we're moving into is Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Discover whether or not you need a block underneath the right hand. The right hand should not be directly in front of the right foot, but slightly offset to the right. This way, when you spring up into the pose, you can have the freedom to roll open. There we go. Flex that top foot. Push out through the mound of the big toe. Exhale, come back down safely to get back into the flow. Ardha Chandrasana with the left foot in the lead. When you're ready, step it through. Lift up your right limbs. Roll open to your right. Send the energy up and out through the top limbs. Fixate your gaze. Concentrate. Exhale, let's bring it down. Take another vinyasa. Even though we've been working through the hips a little bit, we're going to add in a little bit more. So inhale, uplift your left leg skyward. Swing that leg through for pigeon. And extend your right leg back behind you. Go ahead and bring it on down. Settle into this position. Sink and surrender towards the gravitational pull of the planet. Holding this stretch is going to improve the circulation and the energy flow to this region, which will help to flush and wash it out. We're going to lift the head and the heart. We're going to walk over towards that left foot, angling the body towards the right corner of the mat. You may feel that piriformis more. And on your next inhalation, slowly bring it back up. We're coming into upward pigeon, so walk the fingertips back towards the hips. Line up the vertebrae over the rim of the pelvis. I'm just going to keep my hands to the floor today, but if you want to activate your bandhas and lift the arms up, you can. And exhale, walk the hands forward and out. All right, we're going to stoke some inner fire from here. So curl the back toes under, lift up like plank, but then draw the forehead towards the knee. So you're creating a little slight cat stretch back in cheetah. Inhale, press back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. One-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, splay the leg up. Exhale, contract and curl in. Do it 2 more times. Now step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, bring the shin to the front. Slide your left foot back. When you're ready, release down. You feel more or less dense or tight to this side. Notice without judgment. Let your inner mantra be to let go. Slowly lift up. Walk it over towards the right foot. Inhale, walk to center. Bring the hands closer in. Line up the vertebrae. Come to this active form of pigeon. Choosing to stay propped with your hands or not, your choice. Exhale, bring the palms down. Curl the back toes under. We're coming up to cheetah. Inhale, one-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, cheetah. Few more. Slow, controlled breath. Slow, controlled movement. Inhale, take plank. Exhale, chaturanga, last vinyasa. Inhale, open up the heart. Exhale, roll it on back. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, descend your knees. Drop the hips down for up dog. Exhale, back to child's. Continue that flow of movement. Flow with your breath, bringing in the air element as you open up the heart chakra. This time from up dog, roll it back to downward facing dog. Look forward towards your hands, bend your knees. Hop the feet or step the feet forward to Malasana. You can be active or passive. Bringing the hands down. Lengthen your left leg. Cross your right foot over to the opposite side. Hug that knee in, but then lift and invest in the lengthening of your back. Spin around to your right. Twist, primarily good for the third, for the fire, but also good for all the other elements. Grounding down through your seat. Awakening the Shakti, the dormant energy to flow up. Using both the water and the fire for purification, and the breath for purification. Maybe see if you've created more spaciousness in your mind. Exhale, unwind from that. Straighten your right leg, bend your left knee. Take it to the other side. Twist off to your left. Gazing it up to your mind's eye. Visualize your mind and your spine are lit up. Affirming as you hold, I radiate my love, goodwill, compassion to soul friends everywhere. Exhale, unwind. And cross that foot. Bring yourself to Baddha Konasana. Folding down over the feet to your degree of flexibility. Inhale it up. Close the knees. Flex and float the feet. Navasana boat. Lengthen the legs out to canoe. Exhale, half boat. Inhale, canoe. Exhale, half boat. Inhale, canoe. Exhale, half boat. Now descend the feet. Turn towards your right hip. Lift up energetically. Wind your way around to face the back of your mat. And release. And slide in. Press your way up. Switch to the other side. Elongate the vertebrae. Twist to your left. Walk it down. Splay the arms. Slide your hands in. Press your way up. All right, we're gonna spin back around to face the mat. We're gonna do dolphin. And then if you feel ready and prepared, you can practice your headstand just to change up the foundation of the poses. So we'll start with dolphin first. So come to your knees and forearms. We're gonna lace the hands together and glue the palms shut. This is a little easier to do dolphin. Make sure your elbows are lined up underneath the head of the shoulder bones and that you're not slouching here or dripping through that space between the shoulder blades. In fact, you want to push down through your arms so that you're engaging that gap in between the shoulder blades. Your chest is kind of pulling back into your body. Curl your toes, lift your knees, press into your hands, slide your head back between the arms. It's okay for the hair to touch down, but not the head. Okay, so the foundation here are forearms and feet. Exhale, descend back to your knees. So I thought for today, we would do Shirshasana 2. I need a blanket. If your mat's super thick or if you're on carpet, you probably don't need this. Remember, this is the tripod setup. The hands being the base, the head being on the top. You want kind of an equilateral triangle here. You crawl forward and come to the crown. Lift your knees. Walk the feet in. You can lift one knee at a time to the arms. Pointing the toes skyward. There is weight on your head here. I would avoid this if you have neck issues. Eventually coming down when need be. Taking Balasana, child's pose. That helps to stimulate the hair follicles. It helps connect us to the marma points on the crown of the head. It brings the blood flow down in that direction, the indwelling place of the moon. The place of unity and utmost wisdom. The element there being spirit or pure consciousness. When you came out, you're resting on the brow, the third eye. We cannot have ultimate freedom and liberation until we are fully enlightened. We may have enlightening moments, but enlightenment comes before liberation. Now gently come up. Find your bolster. We're going to do more of a restorative inversion. You may need the blanket on one side for your head and neck, maybe on another side to sit on it to support your low back. You can test it out here. If you want to active fish first, you can do the active form and then come into the restorative. You'll have time. If you have been doing the active, exit out and come into this form. This pose is for restoration and renewal, but we're going to do a little pranayama since we're opening the heart and lungs. And we're going to do the pranayama where we breathe in 3 times, short and sharp through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. We're going to do quite a few rounds of that, so you can follow along. One more. Now just relax and breathe. So we've been working through the lower chakras, working with the elements, purposely moving into inverted poses now to bring it up towards space, ether, light, and that pure consciousness or spirit. Affirm mentally within, my soul floats on waves of cosmic light. And release. Roll to one side. You may want these props for Shavasana, but we're not ready for Shavasana quite yet. We're going to do one more flow. Knees are bent. This will be a bridge. Inhale, the arms are going to circle overhead as you press through the feet, tuck the tailbone and lift. As you exhale, you're going to roll down, contracting the core for the abdominal bridge flow. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, roll it back in. Continue. This time, stay up in bridge. Arms can be over or beside you. You can be active
or you can make it restorative. Remember, the topmost crown chakra is about pure thought forms. And this inversion is bringing everything towards the head. So consider the affirmation and how this ties in. I offer every thought as a bridge to divine grace. Even the affirmations, very intentional, very purposeful. And they stem, the ones I use, stem from the Yogananda lineage. And then as you exhale, roll it down. Come to happy baby. Three more breaths. And prepare for Shavasana. If we were in a studio together, I would be playing one of our moving meditations, one of the breathing meditations from the Blue album. But since we're not, I'm going to give you some quiet time to rest and renew. So first, get grounded in your body, feeling what parts of your body are touching down to the earth. Scan your awareness through your body and soften all your muscles. Focus on the wave of the breath as it rolls up and down the upper body, similar to a wave crashing to shore. Rest your hands on your belly and feel the heat between the two. Remembering how you've been stoking your inner fire. Continue to stay acquainted and aware of your breath so that you can provide more space and freedom in your mind. Continue to gaze in and up to your mind's eye, remembering even what Christ said, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. Not just the light of your awareness, but realizing you are a light body. Feel illuminated from the inside out. Recognize as you're lying in Shavasana You are more than this vehicle of body. You are more than the intellect or workings of the mind. You are spirit. You are infinite. This is the final element. Next inhale. Pull the feet together, stretch the arms overhead. Create a morning stretch. And then exhale, hug the knees in. Apanasana, wind release. Roll to one side of your body. Go ahead and come on up. Sitting with the spine straight, the eyes closed. Checking in. You may have tapped more into one element over the other. I tried to maintain somewhat of a balance. Hopefully you are feeling more connected to the top three after working with the bottom four: the earth, the water, the fire, the air. We work with these, it helps to elevate us. Bring your hands now to prayer position. Remember to sit, to take walks, to do yoga, to pull back from being so busy these first few days of the week. More light is coming in. May we integrate those properly. Remember, a full moon is coming up this week. And I'll do a practice for that on Wednesday. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.